Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. It's a 1910 Maxwell AA Roadster.
Okay. A Maxwell AA Roadster. I'm not even familiar with that particular model. What's the story of this car? Why did they build this car? What was the story for it?
Well, there was the dawn of the automobile, obviously, and they were just coming into being. 1 and 2 cylinder cars were really popular. This car here was actually built for more affluent individuals. This would have been about a $600 car when the average income per household is probably about $400 a year. So somebody who is a little bit more wealthy would drive a car such as this. Maxwell's that year were like the 3rd most popular manufacturer at that time.
Now, did you say it's a 2-cylinder car? Or?
It's a 2-cylinder opposed engine. 12.8 horsepower is what I've seen it advertised as. Some just say 12 horsepower, but you know, pretty funny they put in 0.8.
Yeah, they're looking for everything they can get to brag on that. Well, that's really amazing. Now, this is obviously a brass era car. You can see all the brass here. Is this a difficult car to start? It looks like is it a hand crank over?
The hand cranks over, and I can hand crank it. Somebody has modified and put a starter in it, which makes it easy for, you know, it makes it a little easier.
If you want the experience to hand crank it, you still can, right?
I hand cranked it yesterday, as a matter of fact. The battery was a little low, and I just hand cranked it, started right up, and away I went.
Fantastic.
Life is good.
Fantastic. How long have you had this car?
I've had it for 1 year.
Okay.
And it actually started out, I was in the market for a different vehicle, and when we were looking at the other vehicle, this was in the background in somebody's garage, and my wife starts squealing and going, I wonder if that car's for sale. Well, yes, it was. The guy says, I'm 88. I need to get rid of a few cars. He gave me a really good price, and my wife started jumping up and down.
Okay, so then you're in trouble.
Yeah, and the one thing about Maxwell's is that back then, I understand that only about 5% of the population of drivers were women. So they started really advertising and going after women drivers and actually women sales clerks. Everybody, they were going after the women. Matter of fact, Maxwell, they found a woman driver who they hosted her to drive her and 3 friends across the United States in a Maxwell to prove that a woman could do this. Wow. So it was right about that same time frame. So my wife fell in love with this thing here. I bought it for her. She'll be here a little bit later. Okay. And got her in. I taught her to drive, and she has had the time of her life in this car.
So she's jumped right in with it. That's fantastic. Well, what are some of can you just tell me some of these other features here? Obviously, you've got two pairs of lights. I guess they're different reasons.
Yeah, these ones here are like acetylene lights that they would have the carbide generator over on the end.
Oh, that's what that is back there.
Correct. And they would run the hoses up to this. The hoses are not connected up here, but they would run these up, and you would actually open this up and you would light those. You'd actually get this going. You would take a lighter or a match and you would actually light these. Wow. Same with the ones up here. It's not the same, but these would run off of kerosene. You fill these up here and you'd open them up and you would actually light those as well. So you've got your nighttime lights. The horn works somewhat. It needs a little help.
Okay.
Okay, good. You know, a lot of brass on this car.
Yeah, you've got 2 rear view mirrors, it looks like.
I do. Inside the cab here, we have, there's where the oil reservoir is, and then there's the oilers. So you have to set those up so it drips about 8 drips a minute. Okay. When oil is flowing.
I guess you can just set it with
I can just set those, correct.
Okay.
Interesting, when I'm starting the car, you have to retard it. This is retarded, and then when it starts, I advance the spark. Okay. The throttle is down here on the pedal. Again, it's kind of backwards. It's down instead of up, and I got my, the brake, and you can set the brake here.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that wooden box, is that for your spark?
That's for, that would be where the ignition coils are at.
Okay.
So it's in there. Around the back, I mean, the car's been nicely pinstriped and all.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's got this. We put a little basket on the back. In here, I don't know if I show you, but I will. It's got a little trunk area. Okay. And I have a lot of tools that say Maxwell right on them.
Oh, so cool.
So I got a lot of original equipment.
Tools? Yeah.
Right, and then a little more information about the car I've printed off here.
Yeah, okay.
It says runabout, but it's a Roadster. I think they use them interchangeably. Same with the lights on the side here. This would have kerosene in it. You light this.
Uh-huh.
But the car was nicely, nicely pinstriped and all the way around.
Beautiful. Even the springs.
When I bought the car, I did not know a lot about it. I had virtually no history. But what I did find out is that through the history, or trying to find the history on this thing, I put out a post on the Facebook page for the Horseless Carriage Club of America.
Uh-huh.
I was told, the only thing I knew about it was restored by a surgeon in California about 50 years ago. It's actually closer to 60. Within 10 minutes of me posting, I'm looking for information on the car, I had a post. Somebody says, that was my dad's best friend who restored the car. Wow. So it was like, that was really cool. As it turns out, it was restored by a Merle Ledford.
Okay.
And he restored this as a wedding gift for his daughter.
Wow.
So it was, the family was thrilled to death that it's still on the road and still drivable. So find out a lot of information. There was no expense spared with the pinstriping, with the whole restoration.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it really looks like what you might imagine a new car to be presented as. Now, I'm also just thinking for a minute, I know it's probably not unique to this car, but back in those days, they had so much flexibility with the windshield and the and the roof, where you could put the top down, you could fold the windshield different ways, I guess, and just enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it.
Right, so it drives wonderful. I top out at about 24, 25 miles an hour.
Okay.
That's all the faster you need to go back then,
That's where you're going.
Life is good.
That's right. I'm just going to be curious for a second here. What's this little knob down
that's
here?
For my gas. The gas is underneath the seat, the tank, and I turn that to turn on and off.
Okay, so that's like a shut-off valve for the gas.
It is, correct.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for bringing the Maxwell. We're here at the Arizona Concours 2025, and Dave, you've done a great job presenting this. It is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Really appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
All right, very good.